Hi everyone, it's Sherry from Paper Pieces and Leftovers, and today I am bringing you a little dinosaur from cuddlycutedesigns.com. The file is V-Day Dinosaur Treat Box. I didn't do the box, the dinosaurs are so cute, but I just wanted to do something a little different since I was requested to do some dinosaurs. Figured I would make some extra and throw them in the Etsy store, but for those of you who make your own, let's glue them together. And I added some extra dimension to his little spots on his head and his little foot. You don't have to do any of this. This is just me being extra. And we are going to do eyelashes together. Now, as far as the paper, a lot of it is no longer, I don't even know if it's any longer around. My lighter color is Basil Aruba. My darker color is Coordinations Caspian. And I swatched everything over and over again, trying to get just the right dynamic of what I wanted for paper. And my dark color here on his feet and the back of the title is the color Jade. And that one is by American Crafts. This title does not come with the file. I did this on my own. I just melded everything together, offset it. I played around with a couple different colors to try to get it just right. For the color of my rocks is going to be Coordinations Sea Otter. I kind of just used a whole bunch of scraps of paper that I had laying around, and that's how we ended up coming up with him. And the the color green is Grass by American Crafts. So let's go ahead and start with his feet, or his body. And I know that this is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to because the pieces, it didn't have a base, so I had to play around with the base, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and import it again. I imported it at 11.0 for the width. Yeah, there's no base. So you're going to have the head. And where is the other part of the body? Let me find my bucket. You're going to have the head, and I'm digging, sorry. So minus the base, you will have this. I did the base just because I like the sturdiness since I do orders for customers. I didn't want them to be bent during the mailing process. So if you want to create a base, you can, but it's not a have to. This is just a reinforcement for me for sturdiness. I am one of the few, I was told, that actually do bases if they don't have them. And it is because I don't trust the postal system. They lose stuff. Let's not go there. I just had a customer, her stuff was showing delivered, but she's like, I didn't get it. And it's the post office. She got it a couple days later, but it was still showing that it was delivered to her house. And my base is a little off. So I'm going to trim that down just because my gluing is a little off, which is fine because the base is extra. That is just what I did. And actually, instead of making you guys suffer through all this, I'm probably just going to grab another one. Yeah, let me grab another one. I don't want anybody sitting here longer than they have to, but I don't know if I'm going to have the same issue, and it's fixed, so that's fine. I don't know if my base was a little bit off or if my gluing was off, but when I have a base showing, I just trim it down. That way it's flesh, so you can't see it. That's all, but it's fixed. All right. And if you stay to the end of the video, I am going to do a voiceover on some of the inking because I get that a lot. You guys want to know how to ink. I have some pieces that have a more definitive line, and I have some that are actually, and I don't have them because I shipped them all out. I ombre them, and that is how I get the transitional look where there is no definitive look. And you guys asked me to do another ombre video, which I will. So you're going to have this part right here with his neck and his feet. We're going to put his body on first, and you're going to leave Oops, sorry, that's me hitting stuff. Let me move this. You're going to leave a little gap on the bottom and a little gap on the sides, and that's it. This guy went together so simple, even though I didn't pull everything out and I'm fired. Normally I'm really prepared, but I think because this file was so different with the layering, I just wasn't quite ready for all of that, and I'm missing a foot. And I know that I have them because I inked a whole bunch, but I'm only seeing, there we go, they were hidden. All right, so you'll have this part here minus the head. The head is on the base that I created. So you're gonna lay this down, put his body down, and then we're gonna put his little feetsies down, and then his toes go onto it. I've already done one, so I have a reference, because I did dry piece it and play around with it before I actually did the gluing process. And I tell everybody, dry piece your work before you actually glue it together. One, to make sure you have all the pieces. So that's how you can tell I didn't dry piece this, or I would have noticed his feet were missing. And I just flung that onto myself, which I am struggling with my hands today. All right. So my allergies are horrible. I don't know what's going on. Allergy medicine isn't helping anymore. So I apologize. I sound really nasally. Not my fault. And let's go. What I did on the back is I put an R for right so I knew which way the curve was. And I just use a white chalk pencil. You don't have to do this. I cut out so many of them to put in the Etsy store that I did not want to mix them up. And I honestly don't know if they go, they can go on either side. Let's see. It may not even matter. Nope, they're identical. So I just did something extra that I didn't have to do, which is fine. But because I was cutting so many out, I didn't want to mess anything up, have them on the wrong side, etc. So that's just what I do with a lot of pieces. And like, for instance, this, you'll see the little white spots on the back. That's so I know which side goes down, because if you notice when you cut, there's a little lip around your pieces of right side up. And the reason I don't use the side down where I care if it's up or down is because of the fact of there's gum on it from the mats. So now we're going to glue his feet on, and I am going to show you the stamp I used on his mouth. I sat here and laid a whole bunch of them over his face to get the right one that I liked. And it is going to be your preference. There is no right or wrong. I don't even know if I'm in frame anymore. Let me shrink that down a little. So we got his foot on. Let's get the other one on. And then I'm going to get the little pieces out of the way because those are the most annoying for me because I lose them. They stick to my arm. They stick to whatever. So I put some glue that is removable. It's not permanent. Just to hold placement, especially I did it on this and the eyes. Don't have to do it, it's just me. But I want to get these nares down, the little nose pieces. And yes, I am using my finger trick. I learned that a long time ago from Sarah, and I am ever so thankful for it. You can put it on the glass or your finger. If you just have a few little pieces, I recommend your finger because it is a little more easier. But it does dry a lot quicker versus you putting it on the glass. If you put it on the glass, you got forever in a day. So we are going to trace the eyes and do the eyelashes, but I'm not going to go in and detail them on camera, just to kind of keep it short and simple. Now I am going to pick this up and bend it so I can get the eyes behind it, because I want to get them in a good placement. And that's the nice thing about Cosmic Shimmer Glitter Glue, the flake and glitter glue that I show you guys, even though it's a little messy when it gets on your fingers, is it allows you to move your pieces but also keep them in place while you trace them and do whatever you're going to do. I trace my eyes before I glue them down, just because that's what I've done forever and ever. And this would be the part where you could practice with your pencil that I explained in the live, and then go over it with your Micron pen. I've been using Micron pens since I've been scrapbooking. They've been around forever. They are my trusty go-tos. And you will see some of the other girls using them. I think it's just an art preference per se. And there are tons of pens you can use for it though. So let's throw some lashes on this bad boy. But I just thought he was so cute for Valentine's Day. And another Micron pen. So we're going to go around and let's see. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. There is no rhyme or reason to the lashes, honestly. I do concentrate why I do them though, just because I want to try to get them as even on both sides. And I stopped talking. That's funny. I warned you. But I just want to try to get them as even as possible. Because I don't want wonky eyelashes. It's just a thing for me. But I see some of the girls leave their eyes on and do the lashes. I'm not a pro like that. And this is why I do it off camera, just because I get quiet during this part, which is fine. It's more so me concentrating just to make sure we got it as even as possible. They look pretty even to me. So now here is what I started a trend with. These are for making cars, the model cars. That's where I was told you could find them. As I've told you guys a million times, my husband found them in Hobby Lobby at the checkout. Sorry, excuse me. And asked, can you use that for anything? And I said, I'll find a way. And now I see all the girls using them in their videos, and I just think I am the trendsetter for these, and it's funny. And I hope you guys are using them because it does make life easier. The reason I use them, and this is where I stress when I watch other people's videos, I should say, and I shouldn't, but they don't tell you guys why. So with this, you are rubbing it into your cardstock. So you're actually setting it. I need an eraser. Where's my handy dandy Tombow? There we go. You're setting it. So you're not going to have all the smear that you would versus just using a pom-pom. It pushes it into the grooves, so that way you're not having chalk everywhere all over your piece. And that is also with the other thing you see people using that I brought to the table for the blush, wherever it is. Here it is. And it's because it sets it into your cardstock. And that's why I use it. And that's what I found. And they use it, but I don't think they understand, you know, the importance of sharing the purpose of this, because not everybody knows who I am. People follow them and don't watch me. People follow me and don't watch them. They don't know about each other, or they don't know about us, or they just don't like us. And I'm not here for the numbers, you guys. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. You know, I have come to this year realizing that I do not need to go out of my way to make somebody like me. You either like me or you don't. That's just life. And there's been people I've encountered in my workplace, in my life, that they're just not my cup of tea. It could be mannerisms, behaviors. I hate people that gossip. If you have something to say, say it. That's just how I always was, especially at work. I never got into the drama. Like, that's... I would sit in my car by myself at lunch to avoid the gossip going on at the tables, because we had I worked for a huge company that they own so many hospitals and medical facilities. It's Optum now. It used to be Southwest Medical. I mean, we were bought out so many times, but anyhow, I wouldn't want to sit there with all the drama, so I would go sit in my car. And I made my best friend, he is my best friend from work, and he and I, we would disappear, but we never talked about anybody. And the girls, I mean, can't tell you how many of them got in trouble for talking about stuff they shouldn't have been at the nursing station. But then again, that's on them, not on me. It's not my business. I was never part of the write-ups as far as that because I never participated. And it just wasn't my thing. But I'm here for the people that want to learn to do this. It is a very expensive habit. If you're going to commit 1,000%. Because I'm going to go back and glue my eyes later. I'm just showing you for placement purposes where they're going to go. And this is a collective craft. And what I mean by that is you are going to slowly purchase things. I mean, unless you have a lot of money laying around, it is a very slow process collecting all of the stuff you're going to need for scrapbooking and making your pieces actually come to life. And I know my voice is a little raspy, but that's also because it's 12:30 in the morning and I did this as a last minute video. So what we're going to do, oh, I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to do the stamps. So I went through, I have so many mouths, and I played with them to figure out which one I liked because I was debating this one, this one, but then I didn't like the little swoops on the side, so I went with that one. And I'm going to use my Lawn Fawn. This is archival and fade resistant, waterproof, permanent, and acid free. That's what you're looking for when you use inks. I went through all my Lawn Fawns, and stay tuned for the end of this video. I am going to put like a supersonic speed of inking on the end, the tail end of this. You can either stay or go. It's up to you. It's just those who asked for it that want to see the inking process. There we go. I didn't want all the extra trust in myself to put his mouth on. Now, let me tell you a trick if you don't have a mouth stamp. Get a piece of acetate and cut out an oval. And the reason I'm saying acetate is you can see through it, and then you will have the perfect thing to trace. And that's just a tip from somebody that's been scrapbooking for a long time. And I did not realize that I was not back in frame. I apologize. I forget about this camera. I wish there was a way for it to say auto zoom and it would just zoom, but I'm not that fortunate. All right, so we're gonna leave his head on because we're gonna place his arms, and you're not gonna have the base if you don't create it. This is just because I did create the base, and I wanna kinda get his arms where they're gonna cross over just a tad bit. And no, I did not glue the whole arm. Now, the reason for that is because if I go back and decide I want him to hug a heart or whatever the case be, if I want him to be holding something, I can just lift his little hands and put it right under there. And that's why I do it. But you can do this however you please. This is just me, my paper piecing process. And I know a lot of you guys do paper piece with me. You guys' messages are just awesome. I love you guys. And some of you guys are very funny. And I can't repeat some of the stuff I've read. Just little dirty jokes and whatever. They're not appropriate, but they're funny. I laugh. The little memes you guys send me. Yeah, cute, funny. It makes my day more than you guys will ever know. And lastly, his head goes on. Now, here's the fun part. What am I stuck on? My magnet is stuck to my candle. Excuse me. Black Cherry Merlot is my favorite. And I want to say thank you to my friend who mailed me these to my P.O. box. You know me. You know me oh so well. This is, yes, I burn it while I scrapbook. Hold on. So I want to say thank you. I appreciate that. That was just, I didn't expect it. And it was just one of those, it made my day. I was just so excited when I seen it because I already knew what it was. And mine had already burned all the way down. And your timing was perfect. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I get a lot of nice cards and things too from you guys. I've gotten gift cards. I've gotten beautiful handmade cards. And they're thank you cards. You know, thank you for everything I do. Thank you for taking my time and sitting here with you guys. I know I just had the other piece, but I don't know where it went. So now I have to figure out which piece. All right, I need this second piece right here. So I'm going to have to cut out another one because it disappeared, or I'll find it later when I'm done. That's what I was looking for. It decided to go bye-bye because there's 4 that go on the head. And I just used my glitter and my glue to do this. I order, I've told you guys before, I have chunky glitter and non-chunky glitter. My husband brings me home glitter. I went with the green and I mixed them. I have tons of these. My husband found them at Hobby Lobby and they come in a pack of like 16 or 24, but I do use a lot of glitter in my glue to give it personality. But now here's the other thing. If you guys have the mermaid paper that I showed you guys like a year ago from 12 by 12 cardstock shop, you could use this. It is so pretty. And I'm thinking about doing another set with these. I've been playing with this on bases and I didn't like the way it came out. So that's why it didn't end up in the title, is I just can't get it to pop the way I thought it would. But that would actually go perfect for his little speckles on his head, because he is absolutely adorable. And then for my little heart, as you guys know, I've used this forever, Morning Dew. It's clear, so I still ink my edges and then I go over it. I set it aside to dry because I don't want to touch it. I've said for the 2-3 years I've been on YouTube, if it's wet, I'm going to touch it. If it's small, I'm going to lose it. And it's so funny because now the other girls are saying it because it is the truth and they know firsthand. You put something to the side, and that's why in the inking video, everything is off camera to the side of me as far as my inks. I show what I'm using and then I kind of put it way off to the right to the top because of the fact of I will drag my hand through it trying to ink in the camera. And there's no need for all that. There's really no need for all that. So I move it out of the way. So that way I dip into it and I don't drag my hand across anything. But this is a super cute, easy little guy that goes together. And I didn't do the cheeks. I did them real light on here, but I'm not happy with it just because of the color he is. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'll go back and detail the eyes, but that's it, guys. Isn't he just so cute? And any questions, let me know. You guys are probably going to ask about my bag of stamps. They are old. They are old, old, old. And what I've collected them for years. Peachy Keen had them, and I think Treasure Box had a set. And my mother and I ordered them, so I have a duplicate because my mom doesn't use them, and she gave me hers. And as far as my inks, I use Lawn Fawn, a whole bunch of different Lawn Fawn. I gave you the colors of paper, but as far as, hold on, I gotta go digging. Is it out here? It is. Okay. Sometimes I mix my colors, but I use Lawn Fawn for my inking, my pieces. It is permanent as well. It's the same as this. They're archival, fade-resistant, waterproof, acid-free, fast-drying. And that's what's important. If you want something that's going to guarantee to last you for a keepsake, you want to make sure that it's acid-free and permanent. Oh, I didn't glue the rock together. The rock is super easy. I'm sorry. My brain. And as far as the title, I haven't cut out more yet. The title was just on a whim. I went and rearranged all the letters and I added a background to it. And that was just what I chose to do. You do not have to do it. I think, yeah, it says Your Dynamite and it goes on like a portion of a heart, which is really cute. But I didn't want that big old piece to try to mail it because it won't work for me. I make my own envelopes, as you guys know, most of the time. If you have a custom piece, yes, Janine, I had to make a custom envelope for Janine because the igloo was so big. But I make a lot of my own envelopes, and I try to keep the cost down. That way the cost for my pieces isn't a fortune. And I know that it's very competitive. I try to keep it fair just because I still do have to purchase some of my files. I don't message Marjorie Ann at 2 a.m. for a file. I don't think she would want to beat me, but she wouldn't answer me until she woke up, that's for sure. And then I, you know, wait, but she takes good care of us. The design team, we got a good design team. Lisa is learning a lot from piecing. She started with titles and is slowly, you know, building her foundation. And it is a learned hobby. But I just wanted to share this with you guys. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Stay tuned if you want to see the inking process. You don't have to stay, you can click off, but if you need a file done, just leave a comment below because I read the comments. It comes up on my YouTube app, that in the alert, I should say, that I have a comment or a like. It doesn't show me dislikes, so if you dislike it, that's okay. If you like it, that's okay. If you comment, that's okay. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not here for the numbers, if that makes sense. I'm here to help who wants it. But if you need something, if you bought a file and you're struggling, let me know. And I just shook that, sorry. Once my husband changes his work schedule, I am going to be doing a lot more YouTube lives and a lot more videos, because then I don't have to worry about my background noise and my sound being removed. I uploaded, I think I said on TikTok, it was a boo-boo. It was on YouTube because I hardly upload on TikTok, but I think I was watching TikTok, so I told you guys, oh yeah, I uploaded it and they took it down. No, it was my YouTube, but I think my husband had something in the background from a TikTok, and I think that's why TikTok stuck in my head. It was music, and it was the whole thing, and I think it was on repeat. So they ended up flagging me for a sound violation, which is fine. I just had to go in, re-edit my video, do a voiceover, remove that part. But that is a lot of extra work to find out what got flagged. So that's why I try to do it late at night, early in the morning, when I don't have them coming in and out and the dog's going all crazy, the TV's on, because I leave the doors open and you can hear the TV. I showed you guys in the one video the speaker. There is no avoiding the sound in this house. I can hear it outside. And my husband will be like, it's only on 6. Well, then why can I hear it all the way in the other room? But I love him. He tries though, and that's a huge thing. But anyhow, this is the finished product. And then what you do is you take your little jelly roll pen and your pan pastels. You're going to add your little details. You do not have to use the same color as I did. The colors in the file are blues and a blue-gray. I did not. I did not. I wanted something a little different. And this is just me. Oh, shoot, look what I'm doing. And I did add a little white to the inside of his nose. And what I do is then I take my finger and I dull it so it doesn't look supersonic bright white. Let me see if I can find you guys a color close, because that was something else I had said I would do for you guys. If you don't have the colors I listed. So for Mr. over here, I would use turquoise necklace for him. That's a beautiful color now that I threw him on the floor. Yeah, that's perfect. So turquoise necklace for him, and that's in the Encore. And for his pads, this is why swatches are so important, because this is how I figure out what I want to use to make it actually go together. And now remember, changing your ink is going to change your appearance. And for the feet, the tummy and the feet, I would use sea glass. Oops. Yeah. I would use sea glass. So we'll use those two from Encore. Let me close that and flip this over while I open my other book. So turquoise necklace and sea glass. And this is basil. I'm not even familiar with basil, but seems easy enough. All right, I think I would go with those two. Yeah. So if you're going to use basil, I would go with Kachina and Patina. I don't know. Kachina and Patina. And that's the Basil 4s. And lastly, let's get the American Crafts. Robin's Egg, I love. Yes, that definitely Robin's Egg. I love that color. That is my fan favorite. But this one's going to be a little harder to match. Yipes. You don't have many choices in this one, do ya? I'm still flipping, guys. So it's going to be Robin's Egg. And probably, if I had to choose, Spearmint. These two go together very pretty. And if I did one in the blues, I would use Pool and Cascade, because those are my two favorite combos. But that looks super cute. No, that does, but I think this one's going to look a little better. Yeah, I would go with these two. So let's see. Seafoam and Robin's Egg. And that's just if you have those on hand. Red can be any red. I used Crimson Red. And for the gray, it's going to be up to what you have on hand. The stone color is perfect. And that is American Crafts. And for Encore, let's see, what would I use? I don't like this color, and that's just me. It looks dirty. So I would use definitely the River Rock with for the rocks, and that's almost spot on. So that is what I would use if I didn't dig out the scraps of what I had. And I have a lot of leftover pieces of paper from many, many years of scrapbooking. Any questions, let me know. I think I covered it all. I'm still looking for my little piece that flung off somewhere, and I'm super sad because that means then I have to cut out one more and wait for it to dry, and super impatient me, you know. All right, stay tuned, and we will go ahead and get you guys some inking so you can see it. And like I said, if you have a file that you bought and you just can't figure it out, leave it down below and I'll try my best to help you guys out. Take care.